Bring your own device, or BYOD, it's simply a fact of corporate life now. The question is, how do you govern this? Users will bring in the latest technology. It's going to be more advanced than they've been issued typically as a corporate device, and they want to use this. So the key question there is, how do you govern this? Again, I think the way you would approach it is it's not about the device itself actually, it's about what the corporation actually needs to do in terms of corporations about processes, and processes act on data. So really the crux of this is data and data protection, data security, information security, customer information security, increasingly so. I was in banking in Asia for many, many years, and interesting, we would often have, it's a very frequent occurrence, so we would have senior executives bringing in the latest technology from China or Indonesia or Hong Kong. Really exciting and great technology, interesting, but plug it into my network. And as a bank, highly regulated, that was the way we dealt with it. We said, well, okay, well, what's appropriate? Let's look at the standards, let's look at the roles, and let's look what's appropriate for your request. You'll want to connect a consumer-grade device that comes from a location. Perhaps it has some spyware or something. We don't know that, you don't know that. But we need to assess it first to determine if it's appropriate to put that on our network, and importantly to store sensitive information on that device. No, the answer is not always yes, sometimes it's no. The interesting issue occurs when it's the very people that are actually of a senior role that bring in the latest technology, and they say, okay, I want to connect this to my network. The way you can look at that is include those people. They're usually typically very senior, so include those people in the governance roles so they're actually making the decisions on what is appropriate. So typically within mobility, you'll have a decision-making framework that sets policy and standards, and part of those standards would be BYO devices are appropriate of these make and model, and the rationale behind that is because they can fulfill the policy requirements. Maybe you need the device to enact encryption. Maybe it needs two-factor authentication for securing their PINs, for example. And a consumer-level device may not be able to do that. So if that person who's on the governance team who set the standards and the policies brings in that consumer device, they well know that that actual device may not meet the standards. So it's sort of catch-22, it helps itself. It all comes down to establishing the governance mechanisms, making sure the right people are in the right roles, making the right decisions, establishing policies and standards, and then enacting that through an enterprise mobility management platform. So this makes it then fair on the business, makes it fair on the technology teams, and also fair on the users. So expectations are set across the board so that when that person comes up with their BYO device and says, connect this to the network, I'm a senior person here, they know the expectations are already set. They know because they can see the policies, they've been standardized and they've been published to them. They can say, well, actually, in all faith, I probably can't get this connected. So you're setting that expectation and you're not going to fall short of achieving it. And by doing that, you then hopefully achieve the required innovations that an organisation wants from a mobility initiative. So the business innovation may be to drive costs down, which BYO can certainly help, but you then also have to determine, is it appropriate?